Treat me like a fool, right? Morning, guys. So what I decided is that we are gonna do a quick live and talk about Thanksgiving with Elvis. I've been trying to find some Thanksgiving stuff. So happy Thanksgiving. Let's see if we can put a bit of some Elvis on in the background, of course. Let's have a look. That looks good. Right. Let me get my tea. Now I've run out of coffee, which is really annoying. So I'm going to do an hour now with you guys. And then I'm going to go off, get some coffee, and come back and do another hour. Morning has broken. Right. Hi, Angel Eyes. Happy Thanksgiving to the world. Whoa, it's still a bit chilly in here. But, so, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, except for I do want to, let's have a look. I do want to go through Thanksgiving stuff, but let's give you guys a chance to join us. Hi, Angel Eyes. Yes, it's freezing. Had to go to the shop earlier to get met. Well, the wife is walking the dogs. And let's have a look. Let me show you right, let's have a look. She just sent me a video. Let's see if it's here. Let's just show you guys. This is the dogs having fun. This is right now. Right now. I'll play it again. I mean, my dogs, they love it. They love it. Yeah. Even though Ella is 11 and Princess is 15, they got loads of go in them. I think the Jack Russells can live right into their 20s. Yeah, they keep going, Jack Russells. I don't know how Angel Eyes, I don't know how where you are of Jack Russells. So let me just top this tea up, warm it up. So I have posted a few videos this morning. I did post a couple of videos this morning, just some shorts and some bits and bobs. I reposted the Anita Wood. Let's have a look. The Anita Wood live stream. Oh yeah. Those dogs are fit because they get walked. I walk them. We walk them at least twice a day, so they do at least 3 miles a day. And plus, my wife likes to walk them early in the morning as well, so they get walked a lot. Right. Okay. So we had a bit of an interesting day yesterday. I had quite a few of you guys messaging me. So it does bring a smile to my face, guys. It does, yeah. It's just I'm trying to. How can I talk about it quickly? First of all, I thank you for your support. I really do thank you for your support. You guys are great. Like, you really got my back, you guys. But God, how can I say it? It's just I want you guys to know I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. That's all I can say. No matter what happens in the background, yeah, because of course every day isn't perfect. I love my life, and I always forgive and move forward. Forgive, move forward. No hate, no anger, no bitterness. Just life's great, lucky me. That's how I am. Yeah, no matter what. So don't forget, I had a very, very complicated, interesting life because I was running a lot of businesses with my twin brother, bars and nightclubs and restaurant, amusement arcades, fish and chip shops. I had a lot of problems, yeah. And the other thing that I got it when I was in business, so that me and my twin were in business for 30 years, yeah. We were workaholics. I had a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, a lot of people that just had it in for me because I was doing well. Yeah. Even when I was a DJ, I would get a lot of jealousy. It's, you know, we have to rise above it. We have to rise above it. We can't control other people. Yeah. Someone sent me a message saying, oh, you have to control this, you have to control that. No, we don't. No, we don't. We can't control it. We can't control, hi Renee, we can't control the outside world. We can't. All we can do is appreciate each day, each moment. Hi Jane, that's all we can do. And we can stay kind, we can stay grateful, we can give forgiveness and send out love. That's all we can do. That's it. We don't have 1,000 arms to reach out and control people. It's never going to happen. So we just do our thing. Now, the thing I think about defending Elvis Presley, and obviously we're an Elvis, yeah, being positive. The thing I think about defending Elvis Presley and our Elvis channel, don't forget, we're here because we love Elvis and we want to defend his bloodline. Our lives were changed with our connection with Elvis. And when we're reading these few books, like at the moment, I'm really enjoying Inside Graceland, and I'm really enjoying Anita Wood's book. Yeah. It just reminds me why we like Elvis. There was just something very, very, very special about Elvis that was more than just his looks and his music. There was something here. So I like to think that we here at Team Elvis, we have that. We have this kindness. And but that doesn't mean that everyone is going to like what we do. You're going to get people that disagree with our views. Like every now and then we'll have someone join us that is very strong-minded, that wants to almost force us to agree with them. We're not going to, are we? We've got our own opinions. We don't have to agree with anyone. Yeah. Now we can listen to people's opinions and debate and talk it through. But as soon as people become rude, then they have to be blocked. Now I think I've blocked 5 people in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. But every one of them was rude. Every one of them was rude. I won't block a person unless they're rude to me. Yeah. I'll let someone have a debate and disagree. But as soon as they cross the line and call us rude, like one of the most common things I've noticed that people will say to me when they're annoyed at me is, you're not an Elvis fan. You're not an Elvis fan. That's one of the most common things. In fact, it was said to me yesterday. Yeah. Now to me, that's about as rude as you can get, because I feel a massive loyalty to Elvis, because I feel that Elvis changed the course of my life for the better. I think Elvis took me out of a very dark place as a small child. So anyone that says to me I'm not an Elvis fan because I don't agree with their views, that is about as insulting as you get, which is why I had to block someone yesterday, because they said that to me. Anyone that says I'm not an Elvis fan, if I said to any of you now here, you're not an Elvis fan, you'd be annoyed, wouldn't you guys? So, hi, Ayisa. Anyway, so I stand by what I say. We come from a place of love. We come from a place of kindness. We forgive all wrongdoing. We wish everyone well, whether they are a YouTube channel or a subscriber or an Elvis fan or just general public. We send love. Love is what we send. So, and I'll say that over and over again. So no matter what anyone no matter what anyone's opinion is of Team Elvis or of me, doesn't matter, because I know my truth. We know our truth. So there you go, guys. I think do what you think you want to do, and stick to which is great. You are. Thank Renee. I fully appreciate your support. So Renee, all of you guys, I was going to read. It's freezing cold, isn't it, Karen? I was going to read a book, but then I thought I need to go and get coffee. So I thought I needed to make the video a bit shorter. So I just thought, well, it's Thanksgiving, isn't it? Happy Thanksgiving to America. Obviously, we have many people all around the world, Britain, and all different countries, Canada, Australia, Germany, Spain, you name it. You guys are all around the world. So I thought, as to show a bit of respect to the Americans out there, I'm going to read about Elvis and Thanksgiving. Just thought we'd give it a go. Right, so Elvis and his fans can be thankful for each other on Thanksgiving. Elvis, now I haven't read this, so let's just see how it goes. First time I've read this, okay, guys? I hope you've got a nice cup of tea. Nice cup of tea. Elvis had much to be thankful for during his lifetime. Certainly, his loyal fans would have Certainly, his loyal fans would have been on his list, and Elvis acknowledged his gratitude to them often during his career. His fans propelled him to fame into the 1950s, buying his records and attending his concerts in vast numbers. They made him the most popular entertainer in the world. When he went away for 2 years in the army, he wondered if his fans would still be there when he returns. And we know about this, don't we, guys? He needn't worried. He needn't have worried. His fans waited patiently during his absence and eagerly welcomed him home. They continued to buy his records and see his movies, even when the quality of both diminished during his mid-60s. Dogs are coming, guys. And when he finally went back on the road, a new generation of Elvis fans joined the old one to fill the auditoriums wherever he was approved. Now, come on, guys, he was never going to get forgotten. We know this. When Elvis went to do his basic training and then eventually off to Germany, he was worried. He was insecure about if he'd be forgotten. He was worried about what movies to do next. I suppose when he went to Germany, he felt, obviously his mother passed in '58, so during his basic training. So he went to this strange land, you know, that he'd never been to before. Well, what felt strange, yeah, in Germany. And we know he had quite a few girlfriends by the sounds of it when he was in Germany, but obviously he meets Priscilla just temporarily, really. It was a very short friendship, didn't last very long, and which changed the course of history, because we know that meeting with Priscilla is ultimately why this relationship ended, which we are gutted about, because I think they were the perfect match. Anita Wood and Elvis were perfect for each other, and the more we read this book, the more we realize that. But it was not meant to be, guys. It was not meant to be. So Elvis often worked on Thanksgiving Day. As much as Elvis had to be thankful for, a look through Peter Guralnick's book, Ernst Jorgensen book, Elvis Day by Day, indicates that Elvis did not celebrate Thanksgiving Day on a regular basis during his 23rd year show business career. Right. Elvis, right, let me just say this again. So the way that it's laid out is a bit weird. Thanksgiving Day Elvis did not celebrate Thanksgiving Day on a regular basis his 23-year show business career, while Elvis nearly always spent Christmas Day at home in Memphis, he more often than not spent Thanksgiving away from Graceland during those years. In fact, Thanksgiving Day often found Elvis at work. In 1954, he appeared on Thanksgiving at the Palladium Club in Houston. A year later, he worked at the Holiday. I'm guessing the Holiday is a hotel, yeah? He worked the Holiday at Woodrow Wilson High School. I got it now. Let me just wait for the dogs to do their thing. Have you got your teas, guys? Hi, Gio. Let's have a look. A year later, he worked at the Holiday Woodrow Wilson High School in Port Arthur, Texas. In 1956, he was again on the road. On Turkey Day, he was appearing at the Sports Arena in Toledo, Ohio. At times during 1960, Elvis was working in Hollywood at Thanksgiving time on November the 24th, 1960. He was shooting Wild in the Country at the 20th Century Fox Ranch in north of Santa Monica. The next year, he was working on Kid Galahad's. In November, he spent holiday driving back to Memphis in 1964, having just finished work on Tickle Me location, shooting The Stay Away Joe ended the day before Thanksgiving in 1967. And he was in the middle of filming a little, Love a Little, Live a Little. So it's called filming little. Well, they've worded it funny here, but it says here Little, Little, Love a Little during the November holiday period in 1968. Even when Elvis wasn't on set, Thanksgiving was an important day for his films. 6 of his movies were released nationwide the day before Thanksgiving to take advantage of the 4-day school break. They were Love Me Tender in 1956, GI Blues in 1960. Let's have a look. A Blue Hawaii. I'm not sure if the years are a bit mixed up here. So we've got Girls, Girls, Girls in 61, in 62, Fun in Acapulco, and in 63, Harum Scarum. I think those years are a bit not correct, yeah? Elvis worked the final 2 Thanksgiving days of his life. After Elvis returned to Vegas stage national touring in the 70s, he seldom worked on Thanksgiving. The only exceptions were the last 2 November holidays of his life. On November the 27th, 1975, he flew to Las Vegas on the Lisa Marie to start a new engagement there. And on November the 25th, 1976, he performed on stage at the University of Oregon in Eugene. Along the way, there were some interesting Thanksgiving days in Elvis's life. A noted by Gural Nick Jorgensen, in 1957, Elvis spent the holiday evening watching Pat Boone's new movie, April Love, at Lowe's Place in Memphis. That's Princess, right? Princess wants to go out. She's just been for a walk. I'm gonna let her out. Then she'll bark. Then she'll bark for me to let her back in. Then 2 minutes later, she's gonna bark, so I let her out again. This is what happens when you're a 15-year-old dog. Come on then. We know that you have a bad memory. Go on then. Okay. Let's time it. Okay, guys, we're going to time it, yeah? We're going to wait for another bark, and I'll let her in. And then We'll let her in. Then we'll time it again. We'll see how long she barks before she wants to go back out again. This is happens, guys. 15-year-old dogs, they have bad memories. Like my dog, but my dog won't go unless I stand in the garden, Karen. Yeah, but thing is, they've just been for a 2-mile walk. So that's what makes it funny. Okay, let's have a look. Where are we? So it's happy. Here we go. Well, there's the bark. So I reckon that lasted that was about 2 minutes. Come on then, in you go. Right. So it's like an experiment. She's just barked to come back in. Yeah, she was only out there 2 minutes. All right, now she wants to go upstairs. Right, so this time she's barked to go upstairs. So she'll go upstairs now, but then she'll bark to come back, and then she'll bark to go back outside. It's like she does it every morning. I'm so used to it. They're so cute. Like when your dogs bark, my bird chirps, and your dog with your dogs. Oh, they're so cute. I love my dogs, but the barking, my God. Jack Russells. Woo! They're like Jack Russells, they're like my wife. They never stop barking. They definitely keep us fit. Yeah, they do. I will say that. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving, guys, all around America. Obviously, welcome to every country. A lot of you are from the UK now, so I'm just reading badly some Thanksgiving stuff about Elvis. So I'm not awake yet, so my reading's a bit but as I wake up, my reading will get more fluent. I told you about my wife giving me a reading lesson. Did I tell you? I told them about you giving me a reading lesson. Yeah, it did work actually. Don't forget your commas and your full stops. My wife even read a section of the book for me. It's like being back at school. I was like, okay. Right. Where are we? So we are on the following year. Elvis found in Germany. The army promoted him to private first class that day, and he had Thanksgiving dinner with the family of girlfriend Elizabeth Stefanak. Now remember, guys, we've proven this now. Elvis was sort of seeing about 5 different girls in Germany. He wasn't seeing Priscilla. Him and Priscilla were friends. They became close, but they were just friends. And one of the girls that Elvis was seeing, and it even says it here, that he had Thanksgiving dinner with her family, Elizabeth Stefanak. Elizabeth Stefanak. Proof that Elvis was not seeing Priscilla. He had other girlfriends in Germany in 1959. And that's just one of them. We've read about others. In 1967 was his first as a married. Right, here we go. Then we go to Thanksgiving of 1967, which we know Elvis got married May the 1st, 1967. Thanksgiving 1967 was his first as a married man. So we had Thanksgiving dinner in 1967 as a married man. In 1968 was his first as a father. So we know Lisa Marie was born 1st of February 1968. Then it jumps forward. In 1972, Elvis already legally separated from Priscilla. Again, we always get told that Elvis officially separated in 73, but the truth is they separated in 1972. But I would go back, I would take a year off that, because remember, Priscilla was secretly seeing Mike Stone. She'd already been unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, 3 months, couple of months after Lisa Marie was born. But then she has this secret affair with Mike Stone, the karate champion, the karate instructor. I think at the tail end of 1970 and through 71, she was seeing Mike Stone. Yes, in 72, it all came out and they agreed to separate. Priscilla was demanding a divorce. So I always say this. I think they were over. In 1970, they were over. Yeah. I also say this, that between 1968, after Elvis found her being unfaithful with the dance instructor, they were over then as well. I think they had a bit of a fake couple of years. I've always thought that it was all very much pretense. And let me just turn the laptop's going to turn off. Let me just turn it on. So you get what I'm saying, guys? That the point is that I know I keep saying this about the marriage. That their marriage only lasted 10 months. And when I say this to people, they're a bit confused. But you think about it. Elvis lived like a single man until they got engaged in 1966 December. Yeah, which was probably pretty cruel to Priscilla, I think. She had moved over. She knew the way Elvis lived. She knew he was a single man. He acted like a single man. She knew he had other girlfriends. She knew. But she took a chance. She moved over with the hope of becoming Elvis's wife one day and having his child, and obviously celebrity lifestyle and living in a mansion. She moved from a very humble home in Germany to the extravagant Graceland. Yeah. So she took a chance. It was a gamble, in my opinion. She moves over. Elvis is living like a single man. He's going off regularly, filming 2 to 3 movies a year. So she didn't really see him that often. Now, Elvis loved being in Memphis, so he would, or loved being in his homes. So he would go out of his way to get off those movie sets and get back to Priscilla as often as he could. Yeah. But it was pretty obvious. Elvis got very close with his co-stars. Yeah. It wasn't always affairs. Elvis just loved being with women. He loved being with the co-stars. So my point is this, that there was a difficult time for Priscilla between 1962 and 1966. He was doing his own thing. She knew he was doing it. She knew what she was getting into. She chose that life. She knew what how Elvis was. And I think this also went on a bit with Anita Wood, but I think Anita Wood wasn't having none of it. Yeah, Anita Wood would not accept that Elvis would see other people. She was not having it. Yeah, she was a very proud person with a lot of self-respect. She wouldn't be. Anita Wood would not be second best to anybody. Yeah, she would not be second best to anyone. Now Priscilla was different. She was prepared to take the flak with the hope that they would one day get married. Now around December 1966. Elvis decides, right, I'm going to commit. I'm going to marry you. He asks her to get engaged and ready to get married on the 1st of May in 1967. Now, I do think at this point, Elvis had become faithful and loyal. We know that she got, they get married at the Aladdin, May the 1st, and she gets pregnant very quickly. Now, I do think, I've always said this, I do think Elvis was pressured into that marriage. I do. I don't think Elvis was ready to be married. He was still I think he was still in his 20s. Just wasn't ready, guys. Just still loved women. He would fall for his co-stars. He just wasn't ready to be with one woman. Yeah. He did make a lot of promises. So eventually, he's under pressure from Colonel Tom Parker, from Vernon, from Priscilla's parents, and he commits. He said, do you know what? Let's do it. Let's get married. There's even a small chance that she was pregnant. Yeah? We don't really know, but we know that it's possible. So my point is, Elvis wasn't married for 14 years. Some people say that they were married for 7. Some people say they were married for 4.5 years. Elvis wasn't with Priscilla from age 14 to age 23, whatever it was. maybe a little bit older. The marriage only lasted, I think, 10 months. But if we use the dates up till she ran off with Mike Stone, the karate champion, around 1970, yeah. Work it out, guys. Yeah, it's 3 years maximum, isn't it? 3 years, and 2 of those years were very unhappy because he'd caught her being unfaithful twice. So, yeah, if you break it down like that, you see that the marriage was very short-lived. Definitely not a proper marriage. Yeah, definitely not. You know, if Priscilla is sleeping with another man months after her baby Lisa Marie is born, and then she does it again, yeah, of course you've got Elvis seeing other people as well. That's not a marriage. So if you sum it all up, Priscilla moves over when she's nearly 18 to live in Graceland with the hope that Elvis may marry her one day, knowing that he had other girlfriends. And then it just carries on getting worse and worse because Elvis commits for a short period of time. He tries to do the right thing. The good side of Elvis, that is a decent Christian man that believes that marriage is forever, yeah, that families shouldn't break up, yeah. That side of Elvis kicked in for Priscilla, and he tried to do the right thing, but it all gets thrown in his face once Lisa Marie gives birth, is born. Then that's it. His wife that he committed to, that he eventually kept all his promises, got engaged, got married. It was a very public marriage around the world. It was a very public birth around the world. The whole world saw the pictures and videos of Elvis with Lisa Marie. Proudly, Elvis was a very, very proud father. But then within 6 to 12 weeks, Priscilla is unfaithful. So it's all over, guys. It's all over. Even me, if I was with my wife and 6 to 12 weeks after we had our first baby, she was sleeping with another man, we would have split up. We would have split up. Do you see my point, guys? So Priscilla it's the ultimate betrayal, yeah? Elvis marries her. The whole world knows about the marriage. It's a very public marriage. She humiliates him by being unfaithful just after Lisa Marie is born. Now, Elvis is massively embarrassed. He knows the whole world are about to find out that weeks after Lisa Marie was born, that his wife, that the whole world watched him marry, has been unfaithful with the dance instructor, Steve Peck. So Elvis was like, oh my God, what has happened in my life? So he tried to hide it. He tried to hide it for a couple of years. But then she does it again with Mike Stone, the karate champion. So put your feet in Elvis's shoes. He's with this woman. He's fulfilled his promises to get married one day, have a child. She's betrayed him. Then she betrays him again. This is in public. Don't forget, the second time she betrayed him with Mike Stone, the karate champion, she did it in front of the world. All the tabloids, the paparazzi, the magazines, the TV news companies were covering that story. Mike Stone, Priscilla runs off with Mike Stone. They're all covering it. Now, remember, Mike Stone, his wife, Frances Stone, was pregnant. She also had a 3-year-old girl. So Priscilla has ran off with the karate champion. You couldn't have picked a worse person because Elvis was obsessed with karate. Priscilla has run off with a karate champion. The whole world are taking pictures of Priscilla and Mike Stone together, out and about shopping, day trips with Lisa Marie. Remember, she took Lisa Marie with her. So Elvis also, in 1971, lost his daughter because Priscilla, when she decided to run off and live with Mike Stone, she grabbed her daughter, took her daughter away from Elvis. Remember, Lisa Marie loved living at Graceland. She loved it. Her life was perfect. She was very, very close to her father, very unusually close. Yeah. So overnight, she's dragged away from her father, who she adores, and she's living in this small apartment with this karate guy who is a complete stranger to her, Mike Stone. And they're off shopping and having day trips together. And all these pictures that are being taken of Priscilla kissing Mike Stone in public in restaurants. are on the front page of every newspaper in the world. This is in 1972. So you imagine, guys, how Elvis felt. Every single tabloid, every news clip, TV news clip, every magazine, yeah, all the paparazzi, yeah. How humiliating that was for Elvis. Men are very proud, aren't they? Yeah. So it's horrific. It's horrific. The saving grace is that in 1968, Elvis has the comeback special. We know he meets Susan Henning and other people. The comeback special is the biggest comeback special in history. In history. Yeah. And I think that takes him on a new path. Yeah. We even then build up to after she's unfaithful with the karate instructor, Mike Stone. He then goes on to do the Vegas comeback, which again is another one of the biggest comebacks in history. The Vegas years in 1969, massive comeback, massive comeback. So Elvis's love of money. Sorry, Elvis's love of music, singing, performing, his fans, doing tours, sees him through this horrible time with Priscilla, where she is blatantly humiliating him in public. So Elvis's career, which is his core, isn't it? His passion for music, his beautiful talent, that he was born with, sees him through these horrible bad patches. Horrible. Then obviously Linda Thompson comes along, and we're probably going to do chapter 3 of Linda Thompson's book. Probably when I come back after, I'm going to go and buy some coffee, and I'm going to read chapter 3 of that. So you get where I'm going, guys. You get the feel. Elvis. Now, if you go by the book Elvis and Me, Elvis very much is a victim. Priscilla is the victim. Yeah. So if you look, this book that was written by Priscilla, to make Priscilla look like a victim and Elvis look like a bad guy, like a predator. But this is an upside down book. This is a book of lies, a rewriting of history. Yeah. The truth is, Priscilla was not the victim. Elvis was the victim. And when you break down these facts and you understand the timeline of before they got engaged, when they get married, when she gets pregnant, when the baby is born, then you go into the Steve Peck affair and the Mike Stone affair. When you break it all down, you see that Elvis was abused by Priscilla. And then it just carries on. Because don't forget, even after Elvis died, there is this horrific attack on him for money that is literally brings him to bankruptcy. Yeah. This is right up until the day he died. Remember, he was very sick when he died. Very, very chronically unwell. Yeah. He put on weight. He was heavily on medication. Probably problems with anxiety and depression. Yeah. He was so unwell, he didn't know where to turn. So he was literally taking 30 tablets a day. Yeah. This man didn't know how to fix himself. This man was in a serious pain and discomfort, couldn't sleep, couldn't relax, couldn't wake up. Literally everything about Elvis's life in 1977 was a mess. Yeah. Even the relationship he was in with Ginger Alden was not working out. It was not working out. Ginger Alden and Elvis, as much as I respect Ginger Alden, she seems like a lovely person. Their relationship was not working out. So then at the same time, Priscilla is hammering Elvis for this divorce settlement, demanding millions of dollars that he doesn't have. So in the end, because he couldn't pay her, the attorneys come up with a deed of trust, place a lien on Graceland's, his home, his mother's home. And so Elvis has to agree to pay Priscilla in these installments with money that he doesn't have. And this is all happening months before he died. Yeah. So you get it, guys. When you really understand the mess, really from the moment she was unfaithful in 68 to the day he died, it is horrific. It is horrific. Some serious bad treatment from Priscilla. Now, I don't hate Priscilla, but I do want to defend Elvis. And to defend Elvis, we have to bring all these things up. We have to show people the truth based on research, understanding the facts. Many of the things I'm saying to you have been admitted by Priscilla. Yeah. So the bottom line is, guys, that man, he met a devil in disguise. Priscilla was a devil in disguise. And do you know what? I don't like to say that. I don't like to speak about people in that way. Yeah. But when you break down the facts, and then if you place that same treatment on yourself, if all the things I said to you now were me, and Priscilla was unfaithful to me with my newborn child, and then was unfaithful to me again with her karate instructor, and then screwed me over for a horrific, greedy divorce settlement where I nearly lost my home. Yeah. And then don't forget, we go on, guys. Then we go on to not just the divorce settlements. We go on to how things were with Vernon Presley and his last will. We also go on to the situation where Priscilla has always taken credit for saving Gracelands, for opening Gracelands as a living museum. It's not true, guys. If you go behind the scenes and search the facts, do research, you start to understand that Gracelands was never going to be sold. Memphis City were never going to allow Gracelands to sell up and be broken up and all the rest of the lies that Priscilla says. Priscilla literally said, if she hadn't have stepped in, that Gracelands was going to be sold off, broken up, even taking the wallpaper off the walls. It's just a massive lie. Memphis City had already had plans in place. Jack Sodden, Morgan Maxfield were already drawing up plans to turn Gracelands into a living museum. It was all there before Priscilla came along. Yeah. So she did not save Graceland. Even the living museum, all the plans for the living museum at Graceland were already done and dusted. It was all about to happen. And then Priscilla steps in because Vernon dies. So Priscilla becomes executor, trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie. Even that situation is very complicated because Elvis did not put Priscilla in his will because he knew that Priscilla had already been taken care of. When they did the second divorce settlement, Priscilla had been handsomely paid a massive amount of money. So Vernon also felt that Priscilla had been taken care of. Now remember, Vernon had become very sick. So you have a complicated situation there with Vernon. When he passes, he does at some point agree that Priscilla should be one of the executors and the trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie. I think part of the reason he chose that was because she had a charge on Graceland. This deed of trust had been created so there was a debt owed to Priscilla by Gracelands, and I think that gave Priscilla enough leverage and power that Vernon felt he had no choice but to allow Priscilla to be the executor, the trustee on behalf of Lisa Marie. So basically she owned Graceland, isn't it? On behalf of Lisa, but she owned it. So you get what I'm saying, guys? It's a mess. And then we now know, in hindsight, we now know that Priscilla goes on. She takes back the Presley name, which she did give up. She takes it back. She writes this tell-all book, which really did make Elvis look like a horrible person. I think, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, this book is full of lies. Loads of things in this book that are not true, just in my opinion, guys, for entertainment purposes. And so this book does a lot of serious damage to Elvis's reputation and image and legacy. So does this book. Now, remember, this book was brought out in '77, a few weeks before he died. Now, this book did some serious damage to Elvis, and Elvis was distraught. Yeah, this book really upset Elvis massively. Even though Elvis was still very kind to Red West in that phone call, this book did a lot of damage. And so at the same time when Priscilla was demanding more money in the divorce settlement, the second divorce settlement that she was not entitled to, she had to go to a judge and accuse Elvis of fraud and lying and hiding his assets, hiding his income, so that a judge would allow a second divorce settlement to be done. So Priscilla's there hammering Elvis for more money just before he dies. You've got that tell-all book coming out. But then she's even now says Elvis was the love of my life. It just doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. How can someone 47 years after they died go on to a chat show and keep repeatedly saying Elvis is the love of my life, I still love him, when we know all this, when we know all this horrible damage that was caused by the ripple effects of Priscilla's behavior with Steve Peck and Mike Stone. Yeah. And the greed with the money. There's some intense greed here. Yeah. Elvis could have lost his home. He was forced to sell his recording rights so that he could pay Priscilla pre-1973. So it's just, all of it is just, ugh. And it infuriates me when people talk to me about Elvis. And they talk about him like he's this overweight drug addict that was nasty and abusive and a predator and a controlling and a groomer and all the other horrible words that they say about him. I always think, do you know any of this? Do you know any of this? I always think that. I always think everything we've just spoken about, I think, you know, you guys have got this very blinkered opinion. Not you guys. I'm on about the general public, yeah? Very blinkered opinion of Elvis. You just see him as this nasty, druggy groomer, yeah. But then I think, if only you knew. If only you knew. So then, when I start saying to people about all this stuff, yeah, they don't believe me. They don't believe it. It doesn't matter what I say to defend Elvis. I'm on about non-Elvis fans now, yeah. It doesn't matter what I say about Elvis. They don't believe me. They don't believe me, even though it's true. It's true. So anyway, that was a bit of a long waffle, but I'm going to read a little bit more of this. How is everyone? Happy Thanksgiving. And if you're waking up today, a bit later on, have a great day today on Thanksgiving. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your family, your friends, your cousins, your uncles, aunties, grandma, all of it. The atmosphere of Thanksgiving is always amazing. Have a really, really good Thanksgiving. Right. I think, let's have a look. So in 1972, Elvis already legally separated from Priscilla and spent the holiday in Hawaii with girlfriend Linda Thompson. And I really feel that Linda Thompson helped Elvis move on from Priscilla. I really do believe that. No matter what you guys think of Linda, I really think the first year they were together, she did a lot of good, honestly. 3 days earlier, Elvis had held a press conference to announce his satellite concert to be broadcast from Hawaii. Elvis fans have much to be thankful for on Thanksgiving. Certainly, Elvis fans have much to be thankful for at the Thanksgiving time. Elvis's older fans should be especially thankful for all the young Elvis fans out there, those who have grown to love his music, even though he may not have been born today during their lifetime. There are the ones who will assure that his legacy will live on. Without them, the first generations of Elvis fans of the 50s and the 60s would be like a high school graduation class whose reunions find fewer and fewer alumni still standing as the years go by, like their parents who passed on their affections for Elvis to them. The new generations of Elvis enthusiasts will hopefully pass on that spirit to their own children. I like that. I'll read that bit again. This new generation of Elvis enthusiasts will hopefully pass on the spirit to their own children. Well said. Well said. And I will try and do that. Definitely. Right, I'm going to quickly read your comments, then I got to go. I'm going to go and get some coffee, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to read a book. Let's just quickly whiz through. So good morning to everyone. Also, we've got Angel Eyes, Ayisa, and Deborah, Gio, and Karen, and Luan. So Luan says more storms tonight, Louis. That's good that you keep going. You have to be outgoing to stand up. Thank you. You love my dog. Like my dog. Yeah, come on. We love the dogs, don't we, guys? I got up to start cooking Thanksgiving meal, and I was like, I need a live. Okay, hope it helps. We don't have Thanksgiving in England, do we? Christmas Day is about as close as we get to that. I think we should. We'd have 2 really good days then, wouldn't we? Deborah, that he's like, but it gets about 11 at night. He shouts. Let's have a look. So it's snow here on Saturday in Missouri. Then Sunday kicks off the parade of lights to kick off Christmas. That sounds great. We used to have a bird of paradise. We had it for one day. I reckon Elvis would have better been married in his late years. Yeah, he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He should come on. We all know he should have married Anita Wood, innit? That's where we are at the moment with the reading books. That's what we think. Okay. Carol, I watched Aloha from Hawaii. First song you can see he is unwell. Someone talked about this in their book, Catholic. I almost cried realizing how much he had gave to his fans, even though he was sick. It's true. So we talk about, obviously, the book Child Bride gives an alternative look at Priscilla in her younger years. It's not all good, mind that book. It's got some things in it that are not very nice to Elvis. So it's not all good, guys. I wouldn't raise your expectations, but it does show us a side to Priscilla that we didn't know about, really. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to go. We've done nearly an hour. I am coming back, though. What I want to do, I'm going to go off, get some coffee, and come back, and I'm going to read chapter 3 of this book. This is my plan, which will probably be another hour. I'll probably come back in about half hour, 45 minutes. So I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. That was the whole point of this video, but I did go on a bit of a tangent, of course, as usual. Nothing new. So thanks, guys. I'll see you later, and I'll be back to do some reading with everyone. I'll see you all soon, guys. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.